Welcome to this special Steadyhand video. My name's Tom Bradley, Chair and Co-founder of Steadyhand. I say special because it's a follow-up to an announcement we made last week that we're joining forces with Purpose Unlimited. Now, here to talk about it is the CEO of Purpose, Som Seif. Welcome, Som.
Great to be here, Tom.
And meet our clients.
It's a real pleasure to meet all of you.
In this discussion, we're going to talk about the whys, whats, whens behind the announcement. As I said in the email to all of you, this is an important step for both firms. You know, at Steadyhand, our investment approach has stayed unchanged for 18 years. Our client-first ethic has been unwavering. The way we serve and advise you, however, has changed a lot. We've evolved. Our team has constantly been working on improving things. Some things you notice, like the level of advice. Other things are behind the scenes. But we want to do so much more, and we can't do it alone. So that's why we're here today. We want to make it easier for you to deal with Steadyhand. We want to give our investor specialists more resources to provide advice to you, and we want more depth and scale on the investment side to build portfolios. Purpose has the skills and the capital to do that. So, Som, we're going to talk about that today. Maybe before we get started, I think our clients would like to know a little bit about your background and the journey that Purpose has been on. You know, you and I met many years ago. We actually disagreed on something, and I always respected the fact that you reached out, said, let's have a coffee and talk about this, and we did. And we followed each other ever since. And as much as we're very different cats, I think we've both been on that journey of fighting the big banks, the mega U.S. investment managers, and I believe really for the cause of improving the industry. But give us a little of your background.
Yeah, Tom, I would say, first and foremost is that I think we are very much the same and alike. And I think we're both, on this journey of how do we help Canadians succeed? How do we make financial services better and work better for Canadians? And, from the start of, my career in the space, it's always been around how do we solve the problems that, Canadians actually want from a wealth firm, an asset management firm, from the financial services industry, and, ultimately think about the customer first in everything we do. My career, I would just say, has always been a journey of solving what's the job that actually we need to be really focused on. And I started a firm that was really one of the first ETF companies focused on how do you build really great investment products a company called Claymore. And it really helped evolve the industry towards lower cost, disciplined investment process and products. And today, of course, it's become much bigger part of the space, and many investors today know and love ETFs. But back then, in 2005, of course, not a lot of people would have known that. The thing that really is different, though, the way I've sort of evolved and learned is that I thought that the job that I was here to do as a money manager and as an asset management firm was to beat the markets, right? And that's what everyone wanted. And what I realized was that actually, in fact, customers, what they want is they want to know that they're going to meet their goals. They want, a financial services and asset management firms that are ultimately focused on outcome-oriented thinking. How do I help us know? How do I help Canadians know that we're going to be okay, that we're going to actually make it to where we need to be and meet the financial outcomes that I need to succeed and have the needs that I have in my life? And what we've been really focused on at Purpose over the last 12 years is really establishing not only really great investment management, but also the infrastructure and technology and services and support in wealth to support how advisors can ultimately provide great advice and great solutions to help Canadians ultimately meet their outcomes.
Well, let's talk about how we're going to work together. Maybe we start with the why. What did, with that background of innovation and helping clients, what did you see in Steadyhand that fit into Purpose?
When we talked about the journey that you've gone through, I think first and foremost it starts with, I think you add a lot of value to your clients every day. You've done that through a service that not only supports Canadians because they have some wealth, but also for every Canadian. And I think it really is a really important principle that you guys have foundationally and we have aligned with, which is that I believe every Canadian should have access to what great looks like. Doesn't matter if you've got lots of money or you've got just starting out or you've got a little bit of money, everybody should have that access. And I think that's something that is important. Two is that I think you've built an organization that really does well for your customers. Your clients have won because they've had a relationship with you. I think the way you've structured your organization around thinking about long-term investment management, which is really a really important thing, which is keeping investors focused on the long term as opposed to short term. Even in the way that fees and structures and things around loyalty around long term thinking is so embedded, and they call it the behaviors that we're all trying to kind of really reinforce on what makes great investment management, great long term outcomes and success. And so I've always loved that. So when you kind of reached out and had the opportunity to spend on your journey and what you were trying to do next, and it kind of aligned so deeply with us, it just sort of felt like this was a really important opportunity for our organizations to collaborate and work together on serving not only the Canadians and the clients that you have today, but also many more Canadians in the future.
I know it's early days, but what would you say your goals are for the Purpose Steadyhand combination?
So first, I think it starts with we want to help all of the existing clients that you've been serving and supporting ultimately continue to succeed. I think that's a really powerful thing. And that also comes with enhancing the experience and the value add that we can help those clients ultimately receive from the relationship they have with Steadyhand. So we're going to continue to invest in and provide technology and support to help with a delightful experience on the front end for the customers and clients, but also at the same time help the team here at Steadyhand really enhance the value of what they can provide. Second is that I think that we see an opportunity to enhance the offering from more planning and more call it holistic thinking around supporting the clients, not only in the existing set of needs they have, but also many of your clients ultimately have other things that they currently can't get served by Steadyhand. I think there's an opportunity to bring that. And then three is we want more Canadians to ultimately get the ability to have the experience that you've built. And so the ability to really bring and broaden the awareness of what Steadyhand ultimately offers and help every Canadian ultimately have access to it would be something that we'd all, I think, have the ambition to do.
Sam, we've talked a lot about improvements and progress and innovation. We're excited about this, but by definition, that means change. And I think we want to talk a little bit about what isn't going to change. Since we started our firm in 2007, we've evolved to where, personal advice is really at the core of what we do. It's our DNA and it's our commitment to our clients. And I know one of the things I'm most proud of in our 18 years is providing that steady hand through what's been a remarkable period of change and uncertainty, and we're going through that right now. That's not going to change. And Purpose has the same commitment that we do to personal advice and to long-term investing. And, I would have to say we've been super impressed with the meetings we've had with your team, really at all levels. They very quickly grasp what's important to our Steadyhand clients. Solid returns, obviously, reasonable fees, transparency, accessibility, and of course that steady hand on the tiller.
I think we're very aligned on the problem that we're all trying to solve for. This isn't rocket science. This is about, there's a set of things that when we do it year after year after year, we ultimately lead to a compounding of great success. And that is exactly what you just talked about, which is, really having a long-term mindset, not being, call it phased by the volatility of short-term things and behaviors that kind of cause us to make bad decisions, keeping costs really, really aligned with the long-term value that you're getting. But really having the right understanding and confidence in what you're investing and the transparency that goes with that. But most importantly is just having a partner that ultimately helps you stay on the long-term course and really take the emotions out of this and focus on the long-term goals. That's exactly the way I think about this problem that we're all trying to solve for clients and Canadians. And I think that's what's always attracted us to our relationship here, is that I think that we're aligned on that, is, take out all the noise and just do the basic things really, really well, consistently.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
with a good partner, you'll win.
Yeah. So we talked long-term. Maybe we should talk a little bit about what's next, just to give our clients, we said a little bit in the email to clients. need regulatory and unitholder approval before we can finalize the deal. And we expect that process to take, 60 to 90 days, something like that?
Somewhere in about 2 months to 2-ish months.
So until that happens, Steadyhand, there won't be any changes to our business. When the deal is consummated, I think your plan is to have Steadyhand as a separate unit of Purpose.
That's right. And actually bringing together some of our other platforms together under Steadyhand and really working together on, helping enhance the capabilities of what Steadyhand can do to support the customers. So right now, with the way Steadyhand is structured, it actually can't support all of the customer needs. And in fact, right after, I think where the goal is to be able to be in a position where any customer need can be solved for within the ecosystem of a Steadyhand can offer. So
people have been asking, what about Tom? As you know, my whole life over the last almost 20 years has been Steadyhand. So just like yours has been for Purpose, and got a lot of blood, sweat, tears invested here. And frankly, I want to see us thrive, and that's why we're doing this. I never put my name on the door because I wanted it to go far beyond what I could possibly do. So I think our clients need to know that I feel as deeply responsible for the money you've entrusted in us as from day one, and I still do today. I laugh because clients have told me over the years that they've come to Steadyhand because they know I'm losing sleep over their money, so they don't have to. And suffice to say, that's still part of the bargain. So Som and you and I are talking about my role going forward, but I'm for sure going to be here and see it through transition and make sure that our clients are well treated as we go forward.
Well, I couldn't be happier that you're saying that. And Tom, you know how much respect I have for you as an individual. But I think what I love is that you've built an unbelievable team around you that is pretty much from day one has been, along with the journey of building and is very passionate about the problem that you guys have been trying to solve for. And I think similarly, at Purpose, we've got an unbelievable group of people that really care every day about helping our customers win and ultimately be successful. And I think that alignment is going to be really important. And as we think about, the broader partnership that, comes together, one thing that every one of Steadyhand's clients should all be really, really excited about is that I think we share the passion as kind of entrepreneurs and founders on helping our customers ultimately succeed. And that doesn't go away in any way. And, I think, Tom, you will play a really important role in the future of Purpose and Steadyhand broadly.
So hopefully you can see why we're excited about this. It's good for you, our clients. It's good for our team. And if I have to show my ambition for a minute, it's good for the many, many Canadians, as Som's referred to, that don't have a good investing experience and need a better situation. Som, I'm looking forward to working with you personally, but also I think our team's already very energized by this union. So thanks for coming and doing this today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to spend some time together.
And to you, our clients, thanks for watching. And more importantly, thanks for your trust and loyalty over many, many years. If you have questions, I know you'll ask them. And we want you to ask them because we want you to be as excited as we are about working with Purpose. Thank you.